Once upon a time, there lived an old pious grandfather working in a coconut estate. He was suppressed with family issues, financial burdens, and living a tough time. One day, he saw a monk passing by, and he quickly ran towards the monk. The monk, who saw the grandfather running towards him, the monk stopped. The old grandfather unveiled all his burdens to the monk, and the compassionate monk briefly explained an exercise to the old father. The compassionate monk asked, "Where do you work from the grandfather?" Then the old grandfather told that he works in a coconut estate. "Fine," said the monk, and told the grandfather to offer the first harvest with the consent of the landlord to the supreme divinity. You may offer coconut, king coconut, immature coconut called kurumba, and kotapol, which is the dried flesh inside the coconut, to the supreme divinity, thinking that you can combat all your issues by this offering of the first crop. Also, distill coconut oil from the scraped coconut and use the oil to light the coconut oil lamp to the supreme divinity. The monk further said, in addition, you may make coconut spoons out of the coconut shell, cups out of coconut shells, then mats and baskets out of the coconut leaves, etc., with the consent of your landlord, and offer to the supreme divinity, then to the disciple of the supreme. Having offered to the supreme and to his disciples, you may use the rest for your consumption. This practice will transform your life to be happy gradually." The old grandfather, who earnestly listened to the monk's advice, worshipped the monk and went away happily. Few years lapsed, and the old grandfather, who practiced the exercise with the consent of the landlord, was happily working and was getting a good salary, and his landlord's living standard also developed, and they both lived a happy life. One day, the old grandfather, who was now a supervisor of the estate, saw a monk and then recognized the monk as the monk who advised him and helped him to enrich his life and the life of the landlord. He then rushed towards the monk and offered a tavike made out of coconut leaves, which is used to carry the alms ball by monks. The old grandfather, who introduced his landlord to the monk, they all got into a conversation discussing their development and thanked the monk. The monk, who was also pleased with their progress, went away happily, while the old grandfather and the landlord worshipped the monk and went back to the coconut estate. Today, firstly, Mrs. Chamila from Morgolla, holding the membership number 27, Madin 73 51 973, contributed to disseminating this historical Detiswala Puja as a dharma danya or contribution for the dissemination of the Dhamma. May her wishes come true. May her deceased father, Mr. Jayasena, gain a blessed human life and stop the cycle of rebirth and approach the path of nirvana. Also, may her beloved daughter, Miss Mihiri Nimesha, may live a healthy long life and somehow succeed in all her future endeavors. Secondly, Mrs. Kanti from Dimuruvella, holding the membership number 26, Binara 5, 79360A, contributed to disseminating this historical Datispala Puja as a Dharma Danya or contribution for the dissemination of the Dhamma. May her wishes come true. May her deceased father, Mr. Aryapala, gain a blessed human life and stop the cycle of rebirth and approach the path of nirvana. Also, may her beloved mother, Mrs. W.G. Jnanavati, may live a healthy long life and somehow succeed in all her future endeavors.